Our nation is experiencing a crisis. It's not the war in Iraq and it's not global warming. It's the growing epidemic of obesity. And it's not just adults who are gaining and gaining. Our nation's children are becoming overweight and obese at an alarming rate. Children are dealing with health issues that were once only seen in adults. Some of these include high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and heart disease. It's up to our nation's school systems and parents alike to become proactive in the battle against obesity in order to help our youth live long and healthy lives. Before solving the problem of childhood obesity, we must first define it. Body mass index is a measure used to define healthy and unhealthy weight. Body mass index is a height to weight ratio. A body mass index of 25.0 to 29.9 indicates overweight. A body mass index of 30 or above is an indication of obesity. Obesity has tripled in children ages 6 to 11 and more than doubled in children ages 2 to 5 and 12 to 19 since the 1970s. That translates to mean that nearly 1/3 of our nation's youth are obese or at risk of becoming obese. School-age children spend 50% or more of their waking time, 9 to 10 months out of the year at school. It makes sense then that school is a good place to begin in solving this childhood obesity problem. Some schools utilize the National School Lunch Program. It's a government-sponsored program that offers free and reduced breakfasts and lunches to school children. But not all schools participate in the program. It's not unusual to walk into a junior high or high school and see fast food favorites being offered for lunch. Add to that soda and junk food being served from vending machines, and it all adds up to a very unhealthy lunch. Government guidelines for the National School Lunch Program include that no more than 30% of a meal's caloric makeup can be made up of fat, and no more than 10% from saturated fat. The government monitors school lunch program is a good beginning, but there's definite room for improvement. Seemingly small changes include serving skim milk instead of 1% and 2% milk. This would result in kids consuming 20 to 40 fewer calories per day, or 3,600 to 7,200 fewer calories per year. They would also reduce their intake of heart-clogging saturated fat by 270 to 540 grams per year. Schools could also increase their servings of whole grains, serving brown rice instead of white rice, whole wheat pasta instead of regular enriched pasta, and serving whole grain buns instead of white buns are all steps in the right direction. Each of these modifications seem easy enough to make, but often it's inadequate funding that is the problem. Vending machines are another controversial subject in schools. Students who have junk and soda available to them during their day eat fewer fruits and vegetables that are offered to them during lunch. Vending machines offer a boost in income for many schools, and administrators are leery of replacing junk food and soda with healthier options for fear that they'll lose that extra money. As important as nutrition is, physical activity plays a vital role in children's health. Physical education classes vary from school to school and district to district. Many schools offer physical education on a daily basis, while other schools have reduced or eliminated physical education classes completely. A properly structured physical education program can be instrumental in ensuring that children are getting physical activity every day. Recess is another important component that can add to a child's opportunity to have activity during his or her day. But as a child gets older, recess is reduced and eventually eliminated from their day. As important as school is, nobody is more influential in the lives of children than their parents. Parents should use the United States Department of Agriculture Food Pyramid Guide as a good starting point for achieving good nutrition for their children. Small changes, again, can have an enormous impact on the health of our kids. Serving skim milk, increasing whole grains, adding more fruits and vegetables, serving lean meats instead of hamburger, and reducing sugary drinks like soda are all small steps that can be taken that will have a large impact on the health of our children. Parents also need to encourage their children to become more active. Leading by example is the best way to get our kids moving. The average child aged 2 to 18 spends almost 42 hours per week in front of the television, computer, or video games. And if you'll refer to the handout I passed out before the beginning of the presentation, you'll see that over the last 30 years, as the average number of minutes per day watching television has increased, there's been a corresponding increase in the number of overweight and obese children. Again, small changes can have a large impact. Taking a family walk together after dinner, playing sports together for an hour a day instead of watching television, and setting TV and computer limits could all have a significant impact on the health of our children. The children of our country are heading down a dangerous road of overweight and obesity. There are numerous contributing factors to this crisis. Schools need to become proactive about offering healthier choices for lunch and in their vending machines. Schools are a great place to encourage physical activity through gym and recess. Parents need to become advocates and role models for their children's health. Leading by example will set kids down the right path to good health. Childhood obesity does not have to remain the problem it has become over the last several years. It is up to the schools and parents alike to take the lead in the struggle to teach children the basics of good health and nutrition in order to ensure their long, happy, and healthy lives. Are there any questions from the audience?
How many servings of whole grains should kids be getting each day?
The U.S. Department of Agriculture recommends 3 to 7 servings of whole grains per day, with 1 serving of whole grains being 16 grams. Anything else?
How much exercise is enough for kids?
Again, the U.S. Department of Agriculture recommends a minimum of 30 minutes of moderate exercise per day. Thank you very much.